command the powers of the ancients, and then you fall in a hole and die?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Hello Internet, welcome to Games Done Wrongish. Today we'll be taking a look at the mid-December 2017 Xbox Games with Gold titles. The titles are Back to the Future the Game and Marlow, Briggs and the Mask of Death. Let's take a look. Back to the Future the Game is a Telltale interactive story-based game that was made to commemorate the 30-year anniversary of the Back to the Future movie. The game features its own story that is separate from the movies. As with most Telltale games of this nature, the game is spread over 5 episodes. Unfortunately, this game is often slated as being the worst Telltale game to date, and you can see why when you play it. The engine used to create the Telltale games has never been optimal. In this game it really shows. The animations are often jerky and clunky. Even panning from left to right has a significant amount of slowdown. However, as these are interactive story type games, this can be overlooked as you are not really required to act fast or use any sort of precision aiming. In fact, in most Telltale games these days there are quick time events generally used for combat and times where you need to think fast to choose your answer to reply to the dialogue. There is none of that in this game. The game is much slower paced in that respect and focuses more on an overall puzzle solving type of gameplay. The game is centered around the 2 main characters of the movie, Dr. Emmett Brown and Marty McFly. At the start of the game, the Doc makes a mistake and gets swept into another point in time. It is then up to you playing as Marty to try and find out which point in time that is and get there to try and save him. You discover whilst looking for clues that the Doc is in serious danger. He has been accused of burning down an illegal speakeasy during the Prohibition in 1931. As such, the gangsters that ran the speakeasy are about to execute the Doc on the steps of the courthouse as a form of revenge. From here you need to get to 1931 and try to save the Doc from this ill fate. Once you arrive in 1931 you must speak to all of the characters in the immediate area to find clues on where the Doc is being held and how you are going to save him. This leads you to speaking to the Doc through the window of his jail cell, confronting the gangsters that are plotting to assassinate him, and also acquiring the help of a younger version of the Doc himself. There are items you can pick up along the way to use to help you figure out clues and solutions to the puzzles, such as a voice recorder that can be used to record people barking orders and then play them back to other people to get them to do your bidding. Eventually you will gather a bunch of items and materials needed to help the younger Doc create a rocket-powered drill. At this point you are relocated to the Doc's lab and have to do a sort of mini-game to create the rocket fuel in the lab. The Doc cannot do it as he is having to argue with his father to prevent him from coming into the lab and seeing what they are doing. As such, the Doc then barks out tips on what to do in his argument. There is an achievement for doing this part without making a single mistake. If you are like me, then this is very likely going to require a replay of the episode. You are given a set of instructions before Doc leaves the room. I set about following those instructions as soon as I was back in control. This was a mistake as I was supposed to wait for the Doc to say certain phrases before acting. As such, the achievement was lost for me, and the only way for me to gain it now is to play the episode again. There are 59 achievements to collect for a total of 1000 points. The estimated time to collect them all is 12 to 15 hours. Overall, as stated earlier, this is not the finest Telltale game you can own. However, as it is free with your Gold subscription, it is worth a download if you like the Back to the Future movies. It does remind me of the movies, and the story does carry the humour and time travelling aspect of the movies it was spawned from. Aside from the puzzle solving around town, there are the odd action scenes in which you could be climbing around a prison truck trying to rescue Doc from within as he is being transported. These scenes again turn into a puzzle in which you need to speak with Doc, find items and use them to complete the main overall puzzle and escape. It has its bugs and problems, but as a fan of the movies I was able to overlook these and had some mindless fun playing it. Marlow, Briggs and the Mask of Death is a third-person action-based hack-and-slash game that plays very similar to the Devil May Cry, God of War and Darksiders games. In this game you play as Marlow Briggs. He is currently on vacation visiting his girlfriend who is on location at a Mayan archaeological dig site. Her role is to help decode the Mayan codices found at the dig site. She quickly realises that she has been hired by a megalomaniac and that the working conditions are not great. Due to this, she decides to quit the job and leave with Marlow. The megalomaniac boss is not at all happy with this development and as such decides to kidnap the girl and order his assassin bodyguard to murder Marlow. She does so using a mystical scythe type weapon which has the Mask of Death attached to it. Once they leave the scene, the mask comes to life and attaches itself to Marlow, bringing him back to life and empowering him with the sacred warrior abilities. The mask is only interested in causing death to appease the gods. It uses Marlow's want for revenge and the urge to save his girlfriend to achieve this goal. As such, Marlow now has the abilities he needs to fight off the villain's armies, and the mask has a vessel of death and destruction to feed upon. Once you gain control, you are given a quick rundown of your basic controls. These are pressing X to do a quick attack, Y to do a heavy attack, B to grab enemies, and A to jump. You then progress through the levels by climbing and jumping your way around while fighting off hordes of enemies along the way. There are collectibles along the way that are generally swirling mystical energies that can only be seen by the mask wearer. Picking these up will give you bonuses such as health regeneration from the red coloured energies, mana from the blue coloured energies, and XP from yellow. From time to time you will face a boss battle. Just like the God of War games, these will generally require you to use the skills you have acquired so far to dodge and attack the enemy until you can get a prompt on screen to press B. This will generally result in a cutscene which finishes them off in a brutal fashion. The XP you are collecting along the way can be used to improve your abilities by increasing the damage they do and increasing the amount of hit points and mana you have to spend. Mana is used to pull off special abilities. Holding the left bumper button while pressing B will cause you to jump up in the air and smash down with a very powerful fire attack that can dispense all lesser enemies in the area. You also get a fast mystic blade throwing ability, which also consumes mana later on, but allows you to quickly dispatch flying bug-like enemies that can be hard to reach with your scythe. There are also the odd vehicle-based sections of the game to mix up gameplay. These will generally offer you a turret to fire at helicopters or other mechanisms in the game that may be preventing your progress. The game has 29 achievements to collect. As this was an Xbox 360 arcade title, these only amassed to 400 gamer points unfortunately. Overall, the game is not the best hack and slash game on the market. If you have a Devil May Cry or Darksiders game in your back catalogue, you may be better off playing those instead. However, if you have already played those games and are looking for some mindless hack and slash combat, then you may want to pick this up and add it to your library. It can give you a few hours of mindless fun if you have nothing better to play. That wraps up this month's Games with Gold overviews for Games Done Wrongish. Please join me again next month when we will do it all again. Also, if you are interested in seeing some family orientated co-op gaming options, then join me again on the 27th of December 2017 for my holiday special in which I will be overviewing 5 great co-op games. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, then give it a thumbs down. But please try to leave some constructive feedback in the comments below this video so that I can try to make more enjoyable content for you in the future. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe by clicking on the icon in the middle of this screen. To learn more about the channel, you can click the What is Games Done Wrongish video on the left, or you can visit my website at www.gamesdonewrongish.com. Thank you, and until the next time, goodbye.